How challenging has it been with the injuries, trying to develop depth, bring the young guys along, especially this deep into the season?
It's tough. It is. But I mean, that's the name of the game, right? Like, Coach Heupel didn't bring me in here to coach a group that's always healthy, or to coach a group that's always got, senior All-Americans. I think that's the cool part about this challenge is each year presents challenges within itself. And you got to do a really good job of finding ways to answer whatever conflict you have in the room and in your unit. And so when it's going good, right, it's easy to celebrate, but when it's not so good and you got conflict and adversity after adversity, like, man, it's important that you guys, that those guys see us as coaches face adversity the right way, handle it the right way, and they'll ultimately fall suit. So it has been a challenge, but it's been one of those things where the guys see me answer that, they see me kind of adjust to that, and I think they're able to feed off of that. I really do. So we're going to always accept challenges while I'm here, and we plan on continuing to do that.
Kelsey.
What have you seen out of Nimrod and his ability to rise to the occasion in these past few weeks?
He is funny you bring him up. He probably had his best practice today. So that probably answers your question. Like, he's doing a really good job of finding ways to continue to get better each week. I mean, not just him, Caleb Webb in that same breath. Like, those guys had a really good practice today. And I think that speaks volumes to this culture again. Like, we talked about the inconsistencies. We talked about things may not have been going our way. Those guys continue to rise to the occasion and prepare as if we're playing for the Super Bowl, and that lets you know what type of culture is in this building, what type of kids we're dealing with. They're resilient, they're competitive, and that's what we want to deal with.
Adam and Dan.
Nimrod made that catch right before the half the other day over the middle, contested ball. When you see a play like that against tight coverage, do you emphasize that in film of like, this is what we want to see more? Do you see a light bulb moment with him making catches like that?
Yeah, you emphasize it everywhere. You emphasize it in practice, you emphasize it in film, and I think when you got young guys like that playing, you've got to do a good job of challenging them daily. And when they meet those challenges, you celebrate like crazy and you create new challenges. That's ultimately how you create confidence in this game, right? Like, we've had some really successful guys here that ultimately got to where they got to because they were challenged. That built confidence, and then they were able to go make plays like that on the field. And I think Chaz making that play was a direct result of what we're doing every week and every day in practice. So we celebrate those type of plays like crazy because that's an SEC play. That's a routine catch in the SEC. And when guys are able to lift their level of play and reach that standard, it's exciting to see. And the most exciting part is the growth that comes after that. So he's in a really good spot. Like I said, those other young guys are in a really good spot. And we got to use that momentum to stay consistent and win these matchups on the outside.
Kelsey, with Dante, what was allowing him to find some more success out on the perimeter, and what will be key for him this offseason when he gets back from his injury to build off what he was able to do outside and carry that into next year?
Yeah, I think, man, sometimes we, even me, look for, really complex answers. I think the answer for him was just he got comfortable, and that came with reps, right? He was halted in the spring, he had a hamstring injury, and then he didn't really get a bunch of reps. So through camps, through the season, he was actually getting those reps, supplementing those reps from the spring, in real time. I think just the more he was able to play, the more comfortable he got. And we plan on this off season being able to use that and help him going forward. So he just needed the reps, I think.
Rick.
Coach, what are you thankful for this holiday season?
I'm thankful for you guys, man. You guys come in the rain jackets, and I forgot it was raining outside. But man, just being able to be here in this position, I'm not sure a bunch of you guys know, but man, a couple years ago, I was a D3 coach, and I'm watching interviews like this of guys I look up to. But similar to what I'm talking to you guys about with our players and the battles that they're facing, you face them in your personal life, and those lessons you want to use when you're a coach. You use those lessons to help your guys get through those same type of difficulties and tough times. And so being able to remember my lessons and the things that I've been through and now ultimately able to give them to our guys is the biggest blessing in the world. So just being up here at this podium is kind of surreal. I'm always thankful to have this opportunity, and I think that's why I put so much effort and I'm so intentional with this platform that I'm in, because I know it's a bunch of people that love to be here. I want to make sure I'm pouring into these guys every second that I can. So, super thankful.
Back to Florida, you mentioned, finally comfort the more you rep and everything. Did that have a specific change, moving from the slot to the outside, or was it just more reps and practice every day, regardless of where he was lined up?
I think with that kid, like, you just gotta find ways to get him comfortable. And sometimes with new guys that move in, like, you gotta try to push different buttons to see what works, right? He was a transfer. We were still trying to figure out, how he got comfortable in certain spots. And once we got him outside, I think he was able to kind of find a fit there, and it just kind of worked. So I think that's the things that you always have to assess, like where guys are comfortable in certain spots. It's no different than, it's a basketball analogy. Guys got their spot on the floor that they get to, and they can knock those down. I think football players, you have the same thing. You just got to find where their rhythm spots are. Outside just so happen to be his.
Last two, Patrick and Ben.
Coach, how do you manage a guy like Nathan Leacock? Obviously, he came in pretty highly talented, had a really big high school career senior year, and now he's not playing as much as he probably hoped he was, or hoped he would coming in. How do you kind of manage him through the season, and how's he progressing?
You coach him just as hard as you coach the best guy in the room. Like, those guys know when they come in, like, nobody is different from the other. Like, you got different temperaments, you have different ways of getting through two guys, but also, like, I'm gonna coach Nathan just as hard as I'm gonna coach Brew, or Jalen Hyde, or Cedric Tillman. Like, everybody's gonna get coached hard. And I think that creates a respect in the room that once guys are playing, like, it's earned. It ain't something that coach, gave. It's not something where this guy started on second base and we got it different. Like, everybody's gonna go the same route and kind of create the same type of work ethic. That way, when you're playing, like, everyone in the room knows that, man, he earned it. And Nathan's doing a good job of that. He's another one. Today, he had a really good practice. Really, the last 2 to 3 weeks, he's been practicing really well. As he continues to get reps in practice, you'll continue to see growth from him.
For Chaz and Caleb, just what's key for them this offseason to build off of some of the success that they've had here the second half of the season?
Man, I think going into the offseason with an open mind, and I say that, like, going to the offseason with a clean slate. Like, they got to go in the offseason feeling like they're starting from square one. And I'm talking about being gritty, being competitive and fiery in their preparation. Like, every rep's got to be like a game rep. You got to treat every rep with the mentality and the urgency like the game's on the line in the fourth quarter. And when you do that, the game slows down. It slows down for you because my training, my mind's sped up, my sense of awareness is heightened. That way, when I'm in the game, like, those things slow down because I put myself in that place mentally so many times that I can't get off task or out of kilter. And I think that mentality for those guys will help them tremendously this offseason. And they've already started to do that, and it's showing up in one-on-one reps and team reps in practice. So outside of the offseason, I'm looking forward to playing this game this weekend. We know what this game means to our fan base. It means a lot to our players, and we're gonna come out. We're gonna meet all the fans. We're gonna come out and come out the right way. We plan on being a good one this weekend.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.